So good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Very excited, very excited, very excited, very excited to come and speak with you all directly. Obviously, a lot of you guys see the ads, right? A lot of energy there, a lot of excitement there. A lot of you all are going to be familiar with wholesaling. A lot of you guys are going to be new to wholesaling, beginners, wherever you're at. The first thing that I really want to put out there, me and Sean, is that this opportunity is very real. It's life changing, and we're super excited to not only share this information with you guys, but also to share our journey and just continue to build with you. This is not just about bringing information and teaching the wholesale business, but this is about team building, expanding our network, bringing more people into the opportunity, because this is an opportunity to where we all exist in different parts of the country, the city, the world, wherever you're at. This wholesaling business can be done. And so what me and Sean realized, because we've obviously been wholesaling for a while now, and we've been very successful with wholesaling real estate. And for a long time, we didn't even think about team building or going live or bringing this business to the public. But what we realized was that it's an opportunity for not only us to help people and expand our personal reach, but we need you guys. We need to be in your network. We need to teach you guys how to take this opportunity to your friends, family, relatives, your city, your state, wherever you're at. The only thing you're missing is the information and understanding of this business. But one thing you guys do have is you have real estate all around you. You have opportunity all around you. And that's what we're going to talk about. That's what we're going to cover on this call. We're going to, hopefully, by the time you guys leave this call, you're going to really have a clear understanding of the opportunity with this wholesaling business and all of the things that you guys are going to be able to do. I always tell all my loved ones, there's plenty money, plenty opportunity around you, but you just don't have the information. You pass real estate, you pass deals every day, all day, but you just don't have the information to capitalize on it. And that's what this call is about. So we're extremely excited. Obviously, you guys should have the checklist. It should be on your screen to download, because that's what we're going to be following here. And that's going to be your guide. I'm going to have it on my screen. Sean's going to come in. He's going to talk to you guys about why he's excited for this call, why he's excited about the Top Tier Solutions course dropping, and then we're going to get right into it. Hope everyone came prepared. Hope you guys have your notes. Hope you guys have your hunger. And hope you guys understand that if we're investing and we're taking this time out to come and speak with you and teach you this business, obviously it's opportunity there for us, but it's opportunity there for you. And we want it all to come together so that we can expand our reach and show you guys how to capitalize on the real estate industry wherever you're at. So Sean, the floor is yours. Just share your perspective, your excitement, and let them know what they're going to take away from this call. And let's get straight to it.
Absolutely, brother. So like Byron said a few seconds ago, we've been fairly successful in the real estate industry, mainly wholesaling. I myself am a licensed realtor for the past 14 years. So, I've developed a pretty good niche in the market, with wholesaling properties or working with investors, and also being able to provide some funding, right? And Byron came to myself. Wow, I'm mumbling words, but Byron and I, we've been working together in real estate for the past 4 or 5 years. We've known each other over 20 years, and we put together something that's just incredible for you guys, not only with what we did before with top tier solutions, but now we've automated the course and we are able to give you these live master classes once a week, or every other week, or whenever we decide to do them, whatever makes sense, right? And so this is a special holiday master class that I'm super excited about, because we're going to give you essentially everything that you need in order to get started wholesaling real estate, right? So this is a business that you can learn the basics of very, very quickly. You don't need to pay for a course, or you don't need to hire a mentor or any of those things to learn the basics of the business. It's when you get into the nitty gritty and start having problems, and you need that extra push, and you need that mentor, you need that extra communication, and someone like myself or Byron, that's where we come in. So yeah, it's a great time at top tier. It's a great time for you guys once again, because we get to give you more of the stuff that we know you need, and we'll just go ahead and jump right into this thing.
Cool. So thanks, Sean. So we're gonna kick things right off. I know all of our time is valuable. Time is money, right? We want to get straight to the meat and potatoes. So as you see here, the ultimate wholesaling checklist for wholesaling real estate, and it's our $1 million step-by-step blueprint, right? Obviously, Sean has been in the business in the real estate business over 10 years. I discovered wholesaling about 5 years ago after closing down my AT&T franchise, and so we're just excited with the results we've been able to get, and we've really compiled it to make it as clear, make it as simple as possible. And hopefully you guys take this information and get ready to run this race to turn this $1 million blueprint and everything that we've been able to do to a multi-million-dollar blueprint by expanding our network with you guys. So as we go down, we're going to just show you guys the table of contents that we're going to be working for. The things we're going to cover very quickly and effectively on this call is obviously for those of you all who are new. We're going to talk about what is wholesaling, right? The introduction to wholesaling. Also, we're going to talk to you guys about identifying deals, right? Running comps. So some of you guys, if you're new or if you're in the real estate business, you know what running comps are. But those are running comparable sales in order to learn what properties are valued at and worth in your market, in your area, or wherever it is that you desire to do business. The number one key to being able to be successful in this wholesaling business is understanding your numbers and understanding what you're looking at, right? Because you want to be able to look at a property and know, hey, this is worth this much. If I can get it for this much and sell it for this much profit can be made. And when you can confidently understand that simple formula, that if the property is worth this much based on what the market says, I can get it for this much based on negotiations that we're going to teach you guys, that this much profit is in between that. And so that's where comps are going to come in. We're going to talk about that. Home inspections, obviously, when you're shopping, I always say it's just like buying a car, right? I'm not going to buy a car without inspecting it, right? Because if I buy a lemon, then I'm going to come right into that investment and I'm going to have to spend money to fix it. I'm going to end up losing money, right? So we always want to home inspect and know what's going on with the property before we buy it. So we're very sure and clear on what that property is worth when it comes to profits for us or our investors. And then we're going to talk about making an offer, getting to the point where we're submitting offers to purchase the property for ourselves or for our end buyer investors. We're going to get to that. And then we're going to discuss just finding a buyer, right? So we have these properties, we have these deals. Where do I go find my buyers to sell these properties to make my money, right? We're going to cover that with you guys today. And then my favorite, and I know Sean's favorite, securing the bag, right? We're in this business to make money, right? We're investing time, we're investing education, we're investing resources. So we don't want to do a lot of that and not capitalize. We want to make sure we understand every single thing that's going on, like we know our favorite song, like we can tie our shoes, so that it leads to what we're all here to get and what we all need in order to expand our family, expand our legacy, enjoy life, do the things that we desire to do, and that's securing the bag. So we're going to talk to you guys about that. So when we go down to here, what is wholesaling, right? Sean, he's very thorough and very enthusiastic about the industry and what wholesaling is. So I'm gonna let him walk you guys through in its most simple and clear understanding what is wholesaling real estate. So Sean, I'm gonna let you take the floor and cover what wholesaling real estate is, so these guys understand this opportunity and how really simple it is.
Okay. All right, awesome. So if we scroll down on the page a little bit, it'll tell you right here in plain English, what wholesaling is. Wholesaling is simply the art of identifying a property, putting it under contract, and then assigning your interest in that contract to an end buyer, right? So it's this wholesaling real estate is a strategy to which an investor acts as the intermediary between a motivated seller and a buyer. And so there's a key term right there. It's motivated seller. So we aren't talking about the guy that's got his house on the market for $500,000. That's nice and clean and pretty and all of that stuff. And he wants to sell it, but his back isn't against the wall, so he doesn't really need to sell it. We're not talking about that guy. When we're talking about a motivated seller, this is a person with a problem. And we can identify that problem by either the physical distress signs in that property or the situational distress signs that you'll find out once you have a conversation with that seller. Okay. And so what a situational distress sign would be something like, we're divorcing and we got to sell the house and split the money, or we're divorcing and I need to sell the house quickly because I don't want her to get all of the money in the divorce settlement, or I just lost my job, so I can't afford the mortgage here. The flip side of that is I got a new job out of state, so I got to get rid of this house because it becomes a burden, right? Or it even could be an inheritance where a parent died or a spouse died or a grandparent died and they left you this property, but you got no desire to be a landlord. You don't have the first clue what to do when it comes to property management or anything else. And so those are some of the motivations that you'll find when you're searching to identify properties. And that's what we essentially build our businesses off of, is seller motivation. So once again, the buyer takes over the contract and completes, or the buyer takes over the contract and then assigns it to the end buyer for a fee. The end buyer then takes over the contract and completes the purchase. Wholesaling allows us to profit from real estate transactions without the need for significant capital or long-term ownership of the property. So 9 times out of 10, we got into this deal with no money out of pocket, aside from maybe our marketing costs where we, skip trace some owners or driving for dollars or some of the things that Byron will talk about, right, moving forward. But more than likely, we don't take possession of that contract for longer than 30 days. And we never actually end up having to buy that property outright with our own money, because that's why we get such a good deal on it that some other investor is willing to step in and take that part of the contract or transaction over. And that's where we make our money in the form of the assignment fee. So going into identifying deals, I'll throw it back to you on this one, Byron.
Sounds good. Thanks, Sean. And just one thing to just simplify everything that Sean said, so you guys don't go off and complicate this thing. You just want to identify ugly properties. You want to identify properties that have either a physical distress, meaning something that's physically wrong with it, fire damage, broken windows, door hinges hanging off, trash in the yard, tall grass, anything that looks like, hey, this is a nice block. Every other house looks upkept. but this one just stands out to me. That's the gold mine, right? So that's the physical distress. We just want to identify those with by many different forms of marketing that we will cover with you guys in details. But the bottom line is you want to identify distressed properties physically. And then also you want to identify distressed properties situationally. Sean covered those, right? So if maybe someone has passed, Lord forbid, their family needs to sell the property, a divorce is going on, basement flooded, they don't have insurance to repair it, a fire damage happened, they didn't have insurance to repair it, now they got to sell it, they're getting ready to be foreclosed on, they can't afford to stop the foreclosure. Any type of situational distress that you hear friends, family, relatives, co-workers, anybody talking about that they need to sell their property because they're in a jam, that's exactly what we're looking for, to keep it short and sweet. So now identifying deals, right? Knowing the difference based on the type of real estate investments that our investors are actually looking for. And there's two types of real estate investments. There's buy and hold investments. Those are long-term investments. So a buy and hold property is a real estate investment strategy where an investor purchases a property and holds on to it for rental income and long-term appreciation. I'm going to add in value, right? Appreciation rather than flipping it or selling it quickly. So these are deals that someone wants to hold to build a catalog, to build a portfolio that they can develop passive income monthly so that they can retire or they can pass down this portfolio to their family to get this passive income ongoing for life, right? And those always hold their value as those properties are appreciating. So you invested one time, you're collecting constant rental income, as well as your value in the property is always there, especially if it appreciates. So those are the buy and hold investors. Now, a fix and flip is a real estate investment strategy where an investor buys a property, they're going to renovate it, fix it up, and they're going to sell it quickly for a profit based on that market value that I talked about earlier, which is why it's important to know what a property is worth based on its market value. So if I get a property at $40,000, I know that it's worth $150,000, but it's very tore up from the floor up, and I'm gonna have to put $40,000 into it. Well, I got it for 40. I got to put 40 to renovate it to get it to tip-top shape, but it's worth 150. Well, that's a $70,000 profit margin and spread for me. If I'm the fix and flipper, or if I'm the wholesaler, I'm going to assign this deal to the end buyer who's going to have that spread for a fee. So if that $70,000 spread is there, I can assign it for maybe $10, $15, $20,000 for my profit immediately upon the sale, and they're still going to have a $50,000 spread based on a negotiation. And those negotiations are going to be there for us because of the distress that comes along with the property. They need help. They need to sell it, and they know that the property is not worth what the market says because it has those physical issues that they couldn't afford to repair, or they couldn't afford to deal with this. So we come in, we save the day, and we're able to get this property from them and prevent them from a greater deficit. So those are two types of investment we're looking for. Now, different formulas to calculate how you get your numbers accurately so that you're always negotiating and putting yourself in a profit position. So I'm going to let Sean talk to you guys about the 70% rule and the cap rate formula based on its relevance to each different type of investment that I just covered.
All right, cool. So Byron just finished talking about fixing and flipping, right? So one of the main things that we use when we're evaluating numbers for fix and flip properties is called the 70% rule. And this says the 70% rule in real estate is a guideline for investors to determine the maximum purchase price of a property. It states that investors should not pay more than 70% of the after repair value. Like Byron just talked about, this property is worth $150,000 when I fix it up. I got to put $40,000 into fixing it up and all of that stuff. So that's what the after repair value is, minus repair costs. This rule helps ensure investors have enough margin to cover expenses. So what does that look like? When we break it down to doing math, right? I'm a math guy. I always have been. So let's say we have a property that's worth $200,000. when it's all fixed up, we're going to multiply that number by 0.70, aka 70%. Okay, that's going to give us 140,000. And I know it might be a little tough to follow along, but that's why we had you guys pull out a pen and paper at the beginning of this, right? So we have a $200,000 property. We multiply by 70%. That gives us 140,000. Now, after walking this property with our contractor or having enough experience to evaluate repair costs, we'll be able to get a repair estimate. Okay. So let's say this place needs $50,000 in work to become worth 200,000. So we're going to take that 50,000 away from the 140, and that means that an investor will pay up to $90,000 for that property based on the 70% rule. Now, as wholesalers, we want to make sure that we build in profit into each deal. So does that mean that we offer the seller $90,000? Absolutely not, because if the max somebody will pay for it is $90,000, then where are you going to make money, right? So on average in the state of Michigan, a wholesale fee is around $10,000. So at the minimum, or at the maximum, we want to offer $80,000 for this property. Okay. If we get it under contract for $80,000, we know based on our figures that someone will buy it for $90,000. Then we just built ourselves a $10,000 profit into this deal. Now, one thing we have to be careful of is thinking that our numbers with our contractors are the same as everybody else's. So we don't want Uncle John's estimate, right, into our deal, because Uncle John might do the whole house for $20,000, but if that person doesn't know Uncle John, then he won't be able to get that work done for $20,000. So we want to use fair market value numbers when it comes to estimating rehab. And you'll learn that and what that means as you further your career in real estate wholesaling. Right on the surface, I would suggest teaming up with someone who knows the business, who knows the numbers, whether it's another wholesaler or real estate professional or a contractor to walk these properties with you. That way, we're making sure our numbers are exactly where they're supposed to be. 70% rule goes hand in hand with the fix and flip method of investing. Cap rate formula goes with the buy and hold strategy. Okay. So let's look over cap rate. And you guys should have this document. If you don't have it now, you'll get it at the end of the masterclass. But the cap rate is the net operating income divided by current market value. You probably don't know what these things mean right now, but to calculate the cap rate, you'll need to know the property's net operating income, which is the annual income minus operating expenses. What does all of these fancy terms mean? Well, if we're renting a house for $800 per month, and there's 12 months in a year, that's $9,600 as our gross income. Once we subtract taxes and insurance and maintenance, we get our net income. Okay. And so you're going to divide that number by the amount of money that you're going to pay for that property, and it's going to give you a percentage. In Detroit, investors want to be somewhere above 15% because of the high risk, high reward energy that this market has. Outside of Detroit, in more stable areas, you're looking at cap rates anywhere between 9 and 12%. And so that's more of an advanced strategy when we're dealing with buy and hold properties. And like I said above, the fix and flip strategy is really the bread and butter for most wholesalers. So let's move on to the next section.
Sounds good. Great job there, Sean. Now, running comps, running numbers, running comparables. This is very important, right? Because again, the number one thing that I want to really resonate with you guys is that you simply just need to know what you're looking at, right? You simply need to know what the property is worth. And so I really relate that like wholesaling and buying real estate is very simple. It's just like going and buying a car. And if you put the same principles in place, you'll understand how simple this business really is, right? So if I'm going to buy a car, the value is determined. If I'm buying a new car, it's worth this much. It depreciates in value over time, right? And if it needs a new muffler, or if it needs a new radiator, or if it needs, new doors put on it, I'm not going to pay the price of the property in its brand new state. But I know I need to know, what is this car, what is this property worth brand new? Okay. And then if I'm going to have to put all these renovations into it, then I'm going to have to deduct that from this brand new price. So running the comparable sales is how I'm going to determine, before I do anything else, is how I'm going to know what any property that I'm looking at is worth. It's based on market value. It's not based on how long my family member had the house and it's been in the family. It's not based on, the sentimental value that I really love this home. I really painted the walls very nice, so I think it's worth this much. No, the property, real estate is worth what the market says it's worth based on comparable sales in the area. So comps, short for comparables, refer to recently sold properties that are similar to the subject property in terms of location, size, condition, and features. We use comps as a basis for determining the market value of a property. By comparing the subject property to recently sold properties with similar characteristics, we can estimate its value based on the sale prices of the other homes. Comps provide a valuable insight into the current market and help sellers and buyers make informed decisions about the value of a property. Real estate is all about this, knowing what the property is worth and negotiating a position where you're going to be profitable. So, for example, I don't know where anyone is from here, but we're in the Michigan market. Let's say Detroit. I know that in Detroit, Michigan, certain areas that homes go, or the market says that homes are selling for $100,000, right? So if I'm on the west side, in this particular neighborhood where the market says the homes over here are worth 100,000, I can't try to, in my head, any other reason, make those homes worth 200,000. You're going to go into a debt. You're going to lose on that deal. So what the market says the property is worth is what it's worth. And when you're comparing a property that you're looking to pick up, you want to make sure it's as similar in look and design as possible to the market value that you're comparing that property to. So once I know these comps and I know what properties are going for in the neighborhood, then that strategy that we talked about earlier, that you guys are going to be looking for the ones that stand out as distressed physically or distressed situations, lets me know that, hey, this is a nice neighborhood. Homes over here are going for $150,000. All of them look nice, but this one right here, it looks trash. I know it's going to need a lot of work. I know it's some issues there, right? Let me reach out to the seller, the owner of this property, see what's going on with it. Maybe I can negotiate and take it off of their hands for 40, 50,000. I know it's worth 150. So off rip, I'm working with 110 to $100,000 spread when it comes to my renovations and profits that I'm going to make. And when you can simply look at real estate like that, know what it's worth, know that because it has these issues attached to it, that of course I'm not going to pay what is worth in its best condition. So now I'm going to be able to negotiate like I'm able to negotiate a used car purchase. Hey, Mike, man, I got to put a radiator in here. The alternator is bad. It's a nice car. And I know in tip-top shape it's worth 10,000, but I got to do the labor. I don't know what the mechanic shop is going to charge me. So, Mike, only thing I can really pay you for this car, and we're buying with cash and leverage, right? Only thing I can pay you for this car is $4,000, Mike, because I'm gonna have to do all this work to it. But once you do all the work and you fix it up pretty, then now you can resell it for what it's worth, $10,000. And this is where all of our profits is made. The best part about this business is we're not putting up the money. We're just negotiating, getting the contract signed, and putting the deal in place. And then because it's a great deal with a great profit margin and spread, we're going to be able to shop this deal to our end buyers who are going to put up the money. We're going to put a fee on it. And now we're essentially just making large profits just for finding good deals for investors who have a ton of money to invest long term. And the best part about it is because we're first in line to get the deals, if we choose to hold on to them, we're going to hold on to the best deals, right? So I hope you guys are getting excited as we're going through this, because essentially what this is you just gaining knowledge and information on what you're looking at in the real estate business. And we're going to teach you how to automate everything to where deals are coming to you. And you're simply just making tens and tens of thousands of dollars in profit just for understanding what you're looking at and helping people out of distressed situations and helping investors and buyers find good deals to make profits off of. And you don't have you're no risk. You're putting no money up. All you're doing is putting systems in place, to marketing systems in place to bring these deals to you. And because you're going to understand the numbers, the values, and we're going to teach you how to negotiate these deals, you're going to be in a position where you're able to start making tens of thousands of dollars right away in this business. Now, as I move on, obviously you see it says a special offer here, right? Every business has a system of operation, right? So at Top Tier Solutions, we have partnered with REI Pro, which is a real estate CRM that allows us to generate leads, draft contracts, send marketing material in bulk, and most importantly, run comps. With this link right here, if you're someone who may already be in the wholesaling business, getting your feet wet, but you're not aware of REI Pro, the link is there. Check out REI Pro. Obviously, we're going to go into it more details of that system, how to utilize it, and how it's helped us scale our business to a multiple seven-figure grossing business here at Top Tier Solutions. And then also, it's going to be very important for your business. If you're not a realtor, if there's any realtors on this call, they know they have access to the MLS where they can run comparables at any time. And someone may be a realtor in your family to do it for you. But with this REI Pro system, you're able to run comps at any time, and it's right there for you to take your business to the next level. So I'm going to move on from there, and we're going to talk about home inspections and repair costs really quick. I'm going to let Sean go through that and cover the importance of getting these homes inspected and having a contractor assess those repair costs when it comes to you or your end buyers' bottom line and profits.
Yep. All right. So home inspections and repair costs. So this is simply to reiterate something that I mentioned before about partnering with a contractor or building a relationship with somebody who knows what they're doing. A lot of times you see, especially if you've been a person that's been online searching about wholesaling and thinking about getting into the business, and then you started getting a bunch of ads from other wholesaling companies or people that are selling courses or YouTube videos and all of that stuff. And some of them might talk about virtual wholesaling, right? Well, here at Top Tier, we do a lot of things locally, and then we have boots on the ground in other states as well. But it's very important that no matter where you are, you want to get eyes on the property, okay? So it is vastly important for a wholesaler to visit a property in person for many reasons. Number one, accurate assessment of the property. Number two, building relationships with the sellers, identifying potential repairs, confirming property details, and last but not least, and you can't really put a price on this, or you can't really put a weight on this, is standing out from the competition, right? So if you're able to, and that's one of the things that we teach in the Top Tier course, is just how to build relationships with sellers and how to strike up conversation. We give you key points on what to ask and how to ask it and when to ask it and what attitude to put on and all of those things when you're talking to strangers. Because a lot of this stuff is just science. It's just proven, it's been done over and over the same way for centuries, right? And we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We just now have to know what strategies to implement, all right? So when we're talking about accurate assessment, a seller can tell you, hey, Sean, this is a 3-bedroom, open floor plan. It's the nicest thing and blah, blah, blah. They can talk the place up so much. And then you get there and it's a totally different story, right? Oh, that third bedroom that they're claiming is a third bedroom doesn't have a closet. Well, guess what? It's not a third bedroom. The bedrooms that are in the basement, don't have egress windows. Guess what? They aren't bedrooms. So these are things that you have to know and that you have to learn as you get your feet wet in this business. But it's also certain just small tips to make sure you're doing things the right way. And then when we talk about assessing repair costs, well, in the beginning stages of this journey, do your best, do your very best to create a relationship with more experienced wholesalers or even contractors. If you're on this live, that means you have access to myself or Byron in some way, shape, or form. Reach out. Let us know, hey, I need help running these numbers. I need help doing this. I need help doing that. If we have time to help you, we'll help you, right? But if you are a member of the top tier community, then there's many people that'll be able to help you, right? So when evaluating potential deals, it is crucial to have an accurate read on rehab costs because this will make or break your entire deal. And I think we're going back to that same thing over and over again because it is just that important. This is a business that is based on numbers. It's not about the sentimental value in the property. It's not about how pretty you think the house is. It's not about would you live there with your family. No, none of that stuff matters. Do the numbers make sense? If they do, let's move forward. If they don't, then there's no deal because there's no money to be made for anybody. Let's move on. So I'll continue. Let's go. We talking about making an offer on that property, right? Well, how do you even get to making an offer? You went out, you found that property like we talked about before. You identify some of those distress signals, whether it be physical or situational, right? You've called that seller or you've mailed that seller or some type of way you got in contact with the owner of that property. And they said, okay, Bob, or okay, Alicia, or okay, Susan, or whoever you are. Yeah, sure. Come out and take a look at the property because I definitely need to sell it, right? You got there, you did your walkthrough, you had your contractor take a look, you got your numbers ran, you ran your comps and all of those things, and you did that 70% rule, and you come up with a number that will turn you a profit, right? Now, let's say that number that an investor would pay for it is that 90,000 that we talked about before. Everything below 90 is your profit. So if you're foolish, you'll go and give the seller some lowball offer and say, hey, I'll give you $60,000 for the property. And then he's going to kick your ass out of there, right? It has to make sense for both sides. You can't go into these deals thinking that I'm going to make all of this money for this new thing that I learned and I've seen these guys on the internet talking about, and people are just going to give me their properties. So you have to be abreast in what's going on in the market. So, a fair offer, a starting offer may be 75,000, knowing that you can go up to 80,000 in order to make the deal work. Or you might be able to start at 72,000 or something like that. But when you go in making too low offers, you end up killing your deal. And then on the flip side of that, you don't want to go and offer 87,000, knowing that somebody's only going to pay 90,000 for it, and you only got a $3,000 margin. And honestly, Byron and I, we operate from a certain way, and we won't really even move for if it's not a certain amount of money. But we see so many wholesalers grab these properties anxiously, make bad offers to the seller, and then make $1,500 or $1,000 on a deal. And that's cool. Yeah, so it's $1,500. Don't get me wrong. But you can make so much more money in this business if you just do things the right way. All right. So part of making an offer, you want to build trust and rapport with the seller and also increase the likelihood of having a successful deal. And that just comes by creating that relationship that we talked about. And so moving past that part to contingencies and terms, The phrase and or assigns. This is very, 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 very vital. Okay.
The meat and potatoes here, Sean. This is going to make it all make sense. I know they're sitting on a call and they're wondering, hey, I get it. I understand what you're saying, but how am I able to do this without putting my money up? How am I able to sell these properties and make money in real estate without having to invest money out of pocket, but just education and effort? And this
And
is going
guess
to make
what?
it make
The
sense
answer
for
to
us.
all of that is this phrase right here, and or assigns. So when you sign a purchase agreement, and what is a purchase agreement? That's the document that says that you or your company is going to give this seller this much money for this property when the seller signs his signature. And when you sign your signature, next to it, it's going to say John Smith and or assigns. Okay. What does and or assigns means? That means that you have the right to assign this contract to some third party representative or third party buyer, right? Assigns. That's what we get paid with. Assignment fee. That's what we get paid. Assignment fee. So we don't sell properties as wholesalers. We sell contracts. And what gives us the right to sell that contract is that simple 3-word phrase. Okay. So if you read there what it just says, the phrase and or assigns in a contract is important for a wholesaler because it allows us to assign or transfer our rights to another party. In a wholesaling transaction, we typically enter into a contract with the seller to purchase the property at a certain price and then assigns that contract to an end buyer for a higher price. By including and or assigns in the contract, and you see that's in quotation marks because that's exactly how you want to write it, we gain the flexibility to assign the contract to another buyer, and this is very, very important, without needing to seek the seller's permission. So you
Right.
don't
So
want, go ahead, Byron.
yeah, so you guys should really be getting excited about this because basically what he just told you is that if I know my cousin or friend or coworker who has this property that is damaged, they need to sell it, and it's some profit to be made. I don't have to buy it from them, putting my own money up. I just need to negotiate the price of the purchase, put it under contract with terms that I'm going to buy this property for this amount and I'm going to close on it within 30 days. And once the seller's signature is on that contract, your signature is on it as the buyer, and you know it's a good deal based on all of the things that we covered with you, and we're going to continue to teach you, then you know, hey, this is a good deal. But the end buyer is actually has $40,000-$50,000 in profit built in. So if I come and show, hey, I just got a good deal from my cousin Mike who needs to sell his property, it's a $50,000 profit margin on there. All I'm asking for is $10,000 fee. The 40 is yours. They're going to be excited about that. These deals sell themselves. So you guys should be excited about understanding the opportunity to assign a contract from one person to another for a fee based on value.
Yep, absolutely. And just to put it in layman's terms or terms you might understand, let's say you have a guy who wants to sell a car for $2,000 and you know that that's a great car for $2,000 and somebody will probably give you $4,000 or $5,000 for it. You tell that guy, hey, I'll buy it for $2,000. And then you go and market it and say, hey, I got this great car for $5,000. And then somebody is able to come in, buy that car, right? You give that seller the $2,000 and you make the $3,000 in between. It's essentially middleman, right? Instead, we're just doing it with houses now and doing it for bigger profits.
Right. And no money down. Absolutely. Besides marketing and research. Cool. So, guys, obviously, we're on fire. We're giving out a ton of information here. This last slide, this talks about finding buyers. I'm going to simplify that for the sake of call so we can get to the real meat and potatoes and just let you guys know that good work sells, right? Properties sell themselves. So obviously there's a ton of strategies when it comes to finding buyers, but that's the last thing that we need to worry about, because if we get great at the information that we've already covered up to this point. You get great at assessing deals and finding great deals with large and negotiating large profit margins. Then if you come to an investor with the deal and they can make 40, 50, 60,000, 70,000, 80,000. I've had deals where my investors made 100,000 after they renovated. Then that's a no-brainer. It's not something we have to convince somebody to buy, right? And people are in the business to make money. They're investors, right? That's what investing is. We spend money to make more money, right? And so that's what we do. We are real estate investors' best friends. As wholesalers, we're their best friends. All of my buyers love me. They call me every day, all day. Byron, what else you got for me? Because I'm helping them feed their family. I'm helping them build their legacies. I'm helping them be extremely profitable. And they're helping me as well by doing business with me. But you ultimately, when you get the inventory, when you find the deals, you have the gold. Because if you're bringing deals to an investor and they can make 40, 50, 60, $70,000 on it, they love you, right? And one thing about this business is very important to understand. A real estate investor don't buy one property. They're looking for multiple investments. I have one buyer right now who's buying up the whole Detroit city. I can't even keep enough inventory for him, which is why this call is very important, which is why we need more people in the business, which is why we need more reach, which is why we need to tap into your network. Because right now, all of you guys have real estate around you. You have some type of distress situation amongst your friends, your family, your relatives, your co-worker, or online. All these ways they're around you. You're passing them every day. You just don't understand what's in front of you. You don't understand real estate industry. You don't understand wholesaling. You don't know how to calculate these properties. And it's literally tens of thousands of dollars that's right there for you to be made. And that's why we're extremely passionate about this, because not only the industry needs you, right? We need you. We need to expand our reach, but it's just helping you grow and build your financial legacies and things like that. So, of course, we love to stay on. Like, I can talk real estate for hours. I know Sean can talk real estate for hours. We've literally laid out and given you guys our simple form blueprint and checklist. It's posted there for you in the link. Everybody should be downloading that checklist. This is the checklist that you're looking at. I always tell people it's one thing to look at a business. It's another thing to be serious and invested. The doers will win, right? Somebody can get this information and do absolutely nothing with it, like we see all of the time. And then somebody else, like myself, like Sean, like all the other successful wholesalers that you hear about, all the other successful investors that you hear about, if you've done your research, they get the information, they take immediate action, right? They jump in the game. Literally, when Sean presented the wholesaling industry to me, I had just closed down my franchise. I needed an opportunity to get back on my feet, making the money I had been used to make. I didn't think about it. I jumped straight in. My first deal, I closed within 5 weeks of getting into the business and getting an education. It was for $5,000. I've been going crazy since. I've been going crazy in this business since. It's very exciting. We're teaching you guys how to automate. So the first thing that I want to tell you guys is to make sure that you download this checklist. You're here for a reason. You download this checklist, you get familiar, you understand what's going on in the wholesale industry. But as we know, that isn't going to be enough, right? We know because I've been an entry level. Sean's been an entry level. Everybody that gets into this business starts off fresh. They start off new. And that's why we're committed to help you guys speed the process along, which is why we're doing this masterclass, which is why we ultimately designed the top tier solutions course, right? Because we know you're going to need that community access. We know you're going to need that experience. We know you're going to need the support to get through that first deal. But what we also know is that we're not here to waste time. We don't have time to waste. We're working hard extremely. We're building. We're looking to grow massively. We're looking to network with people who are serious, right? And so we didn't design the course for it to be, hey, let's sell a course, because we're getting money in the business. We're making money in real estate. We designed the course to help you guys. We designed the course to expand our network, and we priced it very fair. We're running a special promotion, 50% off, because We want you guys in the business. We need you in the business, but we're not going to spend time and we're not going to work with someone who doesn't have skin in the game. You have to have skin in the game because when the going gets tough, you invest this time. When things start to be challenging for you, right? As all businesses are, what do you stand to lose? So, for a small 50% investment in yourself, get the course. Tell yourself, I'm ready to get to my first 10K in the next 30 days. That should start today. You literally can be on your path to making your first check in this business by tomorrow, by the next day. And what I mean by that is with the information that we just given you guys on this call, you literally can go to your friends, family, relatives, coworkers and say, hey, I'm in the real estate business now. I'm looking for my investment. If you know anybody looking to sell a property, I'm with a team of investors, or we're ready to buy. With cash, we can close fast. And you spread that message as much as possible, word of mouth. You spread that message on your social media platforms. You post about it that you're looking for deals. You're looking to invest in real estate. And it's going to look like magic. These deals are going to start to fall in your lap. And then you're going to close and you're going to make that $10,000 that we're talking about or more. And you're going to understand that this thing is real. One story I'll give you. One of our students, Ryan learned this information and he got the information, but what Ryan had is what I've been talking to you guys about. He had a resource and a network around him that he didn't even know what to do with it. And he literally made $100,000 his first 30 days in the business simply because once he got the education and he did exactly what I just told you guys to do. Go tell your friends, family, relatives, co-workers that you're in the real estate business now and you're looking for investment deals to fix up for a profit. And he did that. And he had one friend that his family members had left him. They left him four unit apartment buildings next to each other. And he said, hey, man, I got 4 units that's just been sitting. I need to sell them. We locked those up. We sold all 3 of those 4 units. We made $60,000 assignment fee profit. We got them for $140,000. We sold them to our end investor for $200,000. Our end investor renovated them in 60 days, and he just sold all 3 of them for $220,000 a piece. So our investor was very excited because he made a ton of money, but we're not complaining because we made a quick $60,000 up front just by knowing somebody who had these properties and having this information. And that same guy that Ryan reached out to, he also had another multifamily property that had just been sitting, and we did the exact same thing, and we made $20,000 on that one. And so Ryan realized very quickly that, hey, I already had the resources, I already had the network, I already had the deals sitting in my face, passing them by me every single day. What I was missing was this education and this information. And education and information is the key to wealth and it's the key to success. So we're excited about what's going on in the real estate space. If you guys have your ears on what's going on in the country, what's going on with interest rates, there's no better time than now to be in the wholesale business. There's no better time than now to stop procrastinating, get busy, put the word out, let them know that you're in the real estate business, you're looking for off-market deals, and you have to be enthusiastic yourself. You have to jump out there, you have to get the course, you have to team up with the community and make this thing happen. So I'm going to wrap it up with that. You guys have the checklist. I'm very excited for you guys for taking the first step to even jump on this call. Obviously, we're extremely excited. We're jumping on calls. If you notice our social medias, we're very passionate. We're networking. We're talking about this business because, to be honest, we're late to the party. People have been making millions of dollars feeding their family in this business for so long. And because we fail to get on our A game, we fail to get the education, we fail to take action, we're just sitting by idle watching all this stuff happen because we won't take advantage of the opportunity. So we're excited this holiday season to help you guys on the drive to 10K challenge. The link is there. The course is ready to go. It's a 50% discount. It's typically valued at $2,000, and it's really worth $1 million because millions of dollars are being made. But we've discounted that course 50% for $997 for the first 10 people to take advantage of this opportunity. So if you're somebody that's ready to go, You ready to get to that next 10K or better in the next 30 days? Your mind is made up. You're looking for the energy. You're looking for the community to make this thing happen. Drop a comment, message myself, message Sean. Let us know you're ready to go. Start with the link, and we're going to be here for you. Obviously, this is a live call, so we can't take the time out to talk to everybody, Q&A, answer their questions. We're high demand. Everybody's been asking us, hey, our loved ones, hey, when are you guys going to give us the game on this wholesaling thing? See how you guys are doing. We see how you guys are living. We're hearing what's going on in the market. So we said, hey, it's time to put it out there so that we can give everybody an opportunity for this access and this information. So I'm excited. You guys should be excited. The time is now. The opportunity is moving forward. I can't deliver it any more clear than I just did. As you see on the screen, secure the bag. That's exactly what we're going to teach you and show you how to do is secure the bag. But you got to have that skin in the game. And you got to make sure you got your student mentality ready to learn. And you got to make sure you got your work ethic ready to go. And we're going to teach you how to automate, how to scale, and how to teach your family, your legacy, the real estate business, something that they can carry for life. Real estate is for life. So, Sean, if you want to add
I mean, listen, man, you caught fire. You caught fire, and I am in 100% agreement with everything that you said. So I don't really have a lot to add, right? But like he said, listen, secure the bag. You know, if you're going to spend some money this holiday season, spend some money that's going to make some money, right? I mean, I gave away thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars every single year at Christmas and was still in poverty, right? And I know a lot of you guys are doing the same exact thing. And it wasn't until I really discovered this side of the business that my life changed for the better. You know, and I could show you a picture of my old house and show you a picture of my new house and show you my old life and show you my new life, right? Because this shit is all is proof in the pudding. This is not some guys lying to you and telling you that, or selling you some pie in the sky or some pipe dream. This is a business that we live and that we reap the benefits from every single day, right? This is a business that has allowed us to increase the legacy that we end up leaving behind for our families. And when it comes to teaching and training and this stuff like this, we're passionate about it because, number one, we want to see all of you guys be successful because there's enough money in this business for everybody. Number two, for people who are thinking about being in the business anyway, well, we want to make sure you know how to do it right because our reputation as wholesalers, as an industry, is on the line every single time you come in and you screw something up. Right? So learn this information, learn the process, learn how to do this thing and operate the right way so we can continue to make money in this industry for years to come, right? We don't need government regulations coming down, killing the good business. We don't need sellers with a bad taste in their mouths. So Byron and I have taken it upon ourselves to save the industry and teach you guys how to do this thing the right way because you're going to be in it anyway.
And not only saving the industry, we come to dominate. Like we come to take over. Like we come to think big and kick ass. We come to understand that this opportunity is limitless, and it's time for people to stop procrastinating and BSing and get to work. So let's get to work. The industry needs you. The game needs you. We're going to teach you how to exploit your network. We're going to teach you how to tap into your network and take advantage of those opportunities that's sitting there waiting for you. So we're ending it with that. The top tier solution.
Before you end it, Byron, I want you to hit them with a woo.
Woo! We gotta have fun, right?
Click the link below.
Let's go. On the all serious note, let's go. I hope this information really helped you guys and made this opportunity make sense. That's what we're here to do. Download the checklist for those of you all who are ready to go and start your drive to 10K today. And let us show you how to tap into your market and get in this network with us today. Send a message. We'll send you to the link for the course. It's 50% off for the first 10 people. I wish you all the best and stay safe out there this holiday season.